hung around Michael and his brother, and we'd go up to Las Vegas. On the weekends, they had a new 55, 56 Fleetwood Cadillac, and they would work hard and play hard. Saturday afternoon, that car would be headed for Las Vegas at full speed, and they would spend their Sundays and Mondays there, and they were characters.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in that era. It was a new part of American motoring, brand new to the American public, and they would listen to what our story was, and so it was a nice time in my life.
It's hard to describe. Him and his brother were characters. I remember a time when his brother was living in Columbia City. It was a Sunday afternoon. Here comes a dog walking down the street, and they called the dog over, and what ensued was one of the biggest arguments I've ever seen, where they were arguing about the age of the dog. And Michael said he's either older than a year, or his brother took the opposite side. I forget now which way it was, but they argued, and then the bets came. And it was hundreds of dollars in bets, and they hired a veterinarian to come out. They got him out of a phone book on a Sunday afternoon. So the loser paid the other person and paid for the vet. That's the Michael O'Brien story. I don't know who won or lost, but I remember the vet came out there and gave his opinion, and that was the end of the argument.
Went to work after being at a number of car dealerships around the country, to where I spent 37 a year of my working years, and about the first 2 or 3 weeks there, I decided that was going to be my last stop in my employment career, and that was at the corner of Westlake and Mercer, where I ended up owning the business and owning real estate there. And so I had a big change around when I went down there, because I saw what the possibilities could be in a very short time. I was married with a lot of responsibilities by that time, so I thought I'm going to work hard and do the best we can monetarily, and see if we could stay in one spot. I'd moved a great deal in my younger years, and I thought I would have a stable life from on in my employment career, and also maybe for my family. So
he was proud and properly so to get awards from the Ford Motor Company for sales achievement. And Michael is a positive person, and he looks at the situation and finds a plus in it. And I don't know many times where Michael has had a slump where he couldn't sell. I mean, it's a natural. He can market, and it obviously proved himself. He was I think, an amazing story, starting out as a salesman down at the Pacific Lincoln Mercury dealership, and ending up owning it. Everybody was very impressed.
Well, I think his secret to success was he was the dealer. He was there. He worked it. He understood the used car. I think new car year, new car dealer, but it's being the used car dealer. And I think he understood the used cars. And you know, he was successful because he was there. He paid attention. That's what he did.
The car business was, I think, always good to me. Money was a defining factor because we'd had a shortage of it in my growing up, and I appreciated the fact that I was able to, as a salesperson, kind of determine how much money I could make.
In order to lead, you have to be there all the time. You have to, be the leader. And he was the leader. In fun or anyway, he was the leader. On his boat, at the dealership, it was the same. He was the leader.
When I arrived at Westlake and Mercer, which at that time was William O. McKay Ford, I decided that was the place I was going to stay, and that was a big decision for me. And I ended up owning the business there. It was good for me and my family, and provided our livelihood for 37 years.
They all did well. That was a family dealership there. His sons would be advertising on TV. You'd see his son. They were promoting their Mercury Lincoln line.
My sons learned to work hard, and they all became very proficient in a share of the operations of our family business. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in the car business, and I passed some of it along to my sons. Today, 3 of them are in the car business, and that was great.
Well, this is a 1982 50-foot Ocean Alexander, built and imported by a friend of mine back in those days, and it was supposed to be my last boat, and essentially it was. However, one time after being on vacation for about a month, came back with a great big long laundry list, worked on it for about a month again, and got it all fixed. And I said, that's the last time I'm ever going to work on that one. And I put it on the paper, and the first guy looked at the ad, came out and bought it in about 15 minutes. Then about a year later, I kind of missed the boat, and I was doing a little business with the gentleman that bought it, so I ended up buying it back from him. We've caught a lot of great fish, had great trips, been to Alaska, west side of Vancouver Island, spent wonderful summers on board, the whole family. So we've enjoyed it immensely. Boating community gets pretty tight. I've been in 2 yacht clubs, Roach Harbor Yacht Club since 1972, and later for 25 plus years, Seattle Yacht Club. The biggest fish in our family that has been caught, John caught. And he was about 11 years old, and that was a white king. But there's not much fishing going on in present day. The fish have been kind of fished out around here. But we used to go fishing once a week, regularly, probably. It's quiet, and it's been my second home, really, for many years, since 1982.
I just remember my dad, we had a big family, all the kids were living there, and he was always the leader of the family, and coming home and playing with all the kids, and lots of action going on in the O'Brien household in Edmonds.
When he was dating my mother, and he used to come with different fancy cars.
Michael O'Brien is he's technically my stepdad, but I've always called him my dad. He's been my dad since I was 13 years old.
The story that I have memories of him telling us is the story about him sitting on the toilet going to the bathroom, and it was on a hillside, and the people across the hill were shooting at him, and he got off the toilet, and somebody blew up the toilet as he was getting off of it, and he ran back to his hole where he was staying at. My dad's very proud of his Jesuit education that he had growing up, and he extended that into his college at Seattle University. And I think he really looks back at those times at Seattle Prep and Seattle U and his elementary education that he had as wonderful times that really defined the ethics and the morals that Mike O'Brien grew to develop.
Lots of happy moments, especially around holidays. Holidays were a big deal in our house, and he was part of that whole holiday feeling and having us all around.
Great times. Christmas holidays for my dad were always very important because that's when the family would gather, and we would would always have, he still to this day has a wonderful Christmas tree. I think, though, it's from China now, so I'm a little disappointed in that.